everyone. Give it up for Rajan. All right. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
My name is Sunil Hira, and I'll be talking about how the sales of air purifiers have a reverse relationship with haze levels in Singapore and their downstream impacts to the Singaporean economy. Look at these nerds over there, like, great topic, please carry on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about myself. Not because my life is a joke. I'm talking about my experiences and, stories or whatnot. And the fact of the matter is, I'm nervous. This is my first gig, guys. It's my first formal gig in stand-up, so bear with me. I'll take your laughs, I'll take your pity chuckles, I'll take whatever I can. All right? So, obviously, it's my first gig. My wife's here tonight, right? So I was practicing. Last night at home, I started practicing. I'm like, babe, these are my jokes. What do you think? And my wife's Indian, but she's born and raised in England, much like Rajan. So, and I don't know if you've noticed, everything just sounds a little bit more factually true in a British accent. All right? It's true. It's hard to challenge a British accent, no matter what they say. It's like this headmistress complex. All right? I'll give you an example. All right? So if you turn on CNBC or Fox News, you'll get a reporter saying, "Thank you, Jim. My name's Christy Evans, and 25% of Californians think that renewable energy will be an issue in the next 5 years." I listen to that, I'm like, what a crock of shit. Bullshit. She's just making that stuff up. All right? I mean, it sounds really reasonable, but bullshit. But if you turn on the BBC News, right? Imagine if you heard this. You're like, officials have reported today that the Queen will be relocating to Mexico City, to pursue a long-standing passion at lap dancing and recreational use of narcotics. For all of us at BBC, have a good evening. I'm like, hey, you see that? The Queen's moving to Mexico. Pretty awesome. Like, good honor, man. Chasing those childhood dreams. The point is, it's hard to challenge a British accent. All right? So I come back to my wife, and I'm like, all right, babe, what do you think? Got these jokes? She looks at me and goes, well, to be honest, you're not really funny. I mean, you trying to be a comedian, that's sort of funny, in a tragic sort of way. But it's a bit like when you thought you were Batman. I'm like, oh man, like this is way back in the States when we were dating, and we went to watch The Dark Knight together, all right? And any guy who's here, The Dark Knight is the best. The Dark Knight Rises is the best movie ever, right? Now I'll tell you why, right? Because they explain how you become Batman. They make it relatable. They show you how he files the little batarangs, how he gets access to the Batmobile, and it's instantly relatable. So any guy who's watched any of the Dark Knight movies comes out feeling pumped, right? So we get back home, right, and my wife's like, "Sonny, can you check on the kids?" "Hey, I'm Batman." She's like, "What?" "Say that again." "I'm gonna save Jersey City. I'm Batman." She's like, "Darling, if anything, you sound a bit like a Joker rather than Batman, so I suggest you stop." Well, that's marriage for you. And I love being married. Who's married here? Give it up. Who's married? My congratulations, right? Well done, well done. And marriage is great. There's awesome times, there's tough times, and different. When times are tough, people relate to different things to seek support, right? Some people get counseling. Some people read books. Some people watch YouTube videos. Some people talk to friends. I like to read books. And my favorite self-help marriage counseling book, it's awesome. I highly recommend it. It's called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Check it out. Fantastic marital advice. All right. So how are we doing? You guys okay so far? Yeah. Awesome. So a couple of people out here tonight. I want to give a shout out to. We have you heard from Ashley Francis. Give it up for Ashley, ladies and gentlemen. Ashley's the founder of AIB. He's come all the way from England to be here with us today. And actually, since you've come all the way out, all of us here in Singapore, we're really excited to introduce you to this fabulous concept. It's great. It's not here anymore, but it'll be back tomorrow. And I know you're from England, so you haven't seen it, but it's fantastic. It's great. It's free, low on taxes. And tomorrow it'll be here in Singapore. giant red ball in the sky. We call it the sun, right? And you're going to meet it tomorrow. We also have Rajan Basra. Give it up for Rajan. Right here. I mean, look at Rajan. He is one fit fella. Right, check him. Look at him. It's like if Denzel Washington and Daniel Craig had a baby, you'd get Rajan. All right? I mean, straight up. All right? So, I mean, on a serious note, Rajan's routines are serious. I watched him work out once, and after a session, I had to take a 2-hour nap because I was so tired. All right? It's hardcore. I mean, Rajan works, I mean, I don't work out, but when I do, I make sure I post about it online. It's one of those life events for me. All right? But Rajan works, sorry, my bad. Rajan's corrected me before. Rajan doesn't work out, he trains. Right? He doesn't work out, he trains. And you guys know the difference between working out and training? Let me tell you. It's about $2,000 in spandex. Right? That's the difference. Okay? That's it. Little white shorts, you know, all different colors. Rajan's got plenty. But I think I'm going to move on from Rajan now. He's like, I'm never putting this fucker on the mic. Just one last thing. I mean, I look at Rajan as a friend, as a mentor. In fact, it's my mom's birthday in June, and I'm thinking of sending her a package in Bombay. So Rajan's going to deliver it for me on his bike. So thank you, Rajan. I appreciate it.
I'll do it as well.
So yeah, no, my wife and I, we've our families, we moved to Singapore 8 months ago, and let me tell you, we moved from New York City. Let me tell you, we love it. We don't. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. I don't just like Singapore. I love Singapore. I mean, it's awesome. Like straight up. I take the morning commute. Who's here? Anyone here from London or New York? All right. Have you seen our MRT? I mean, have you seen our MRT? You like that? Our MRT? Right? Have you seen the train system? Right? I mean, compared to London or New York, no homeless man meets Burger King smell. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, you can't even hear that shit. If you're on your train, you will miss the green line. Right? It's smooth. I mean, I lived in New York City, and fuck, man, if you would know when the BD line's coming. Right? Straight up BD line. I mean, my mom in India knew when the BD line was coming. It was that loud. 100 years old, very rusty. So my morning commute's awesome. I come down here to CBD. I head to breakfast. And I walk by, I'm like, forget you, Starbucks. I'm in Singapore now. I go up to the local coffee shop. I'm like, Auntie, kopi siu thai and kaya butter toast. All right? I got like $3.20 in change. They don't take cards. It's got nothing to do with the fact that my breakfast would have costed $15 at Starbucks. But that's got nothing to do with it, I promise. But yeah, and then, it's a great experience. I love Singapore in the mornings. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime when Singapore gets tricky, right? Especially if you work in the CBD. I mean, first of all, you have to plot your route to your restaurant, because if you don't, you will get interrupted. How many of you work in the CBD right here? This is my routine. If I don't plan out where I'm going, you will get interrupted as soon as you walk out. Excuse me, sir, do you have a second? Would you like to buy life insurance? I'm like, no. Would you like to get pimple cream? I'm like, no. Would you like to buy a flat in Cambodia? I'm like, no. And then, if you ignore them, they up the ante, right? Today I got a guy like, sir, do you love your family? I'm like, what? Yeah, I love my family. Would you like to buy life insurance? I'm like, oh, gee. All right. So you will get interrupted. All right. If you finally make it, I finally make it down to the food court, and this is when you come face to face with the most sophisticated table reservation system you've ever seen. It's awesome. Like before I can get there, this old Singaporean, he's like, what happened to my table? It's like all these inanimate objects. There's like a pin, there's like a condom, there's like a business card. I'm like, I can't sit here anymore. It's reserved. I mean, this is a bad memory from elementary school. Can you imagine like you're with your tray and like all the cool kids are sitting here? I finally find a space. I find a space where there's no inanimate object belonging to anyone. I'm about to sit down, and it's like, this lady's like, you can't sit here. My friend is hair there. You can see the hair? That's her hair. It's reserved. Like, great. So I have my laksa, up and down the elevator, right, most of the time, because I can't find a place to sit down. And when I'm doing that, you know, and this is the next best part about Singapore, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. I got a little bit of Luxa on my hand, all right? I want to tell you something. Napkins are the marijuana of Singapore, all right? Because, you know, everyone's got some, everyone's using, they're not going to talk about it, and they're not going to share it with you. So napkins are the marijuana of Singapore, all right? So if you need to, you know, this uncle dealer finds me, all right? He finds me and goes, oh, your hand dirty? Come here. I'm like, what you need? Like, Kleenex. $4. Like, $4? You want sticky hand? You want sticky hand? You want the one sticky hand? You pay $4. You pay $4. And that's that. All right? So, lunchtime is interesting. But, hold on, I gotta refer to my notes here. Freaking Neelan, too many drinks. So it's my plea to the government of Singapore to legalize napkins, so we can all have napkins. All right. I talked about earlier. I talked about Rajan earlier. And speaking of triathlons and spandex, I did my first triathlon. All right, it was awesome. All right, I know it doesn't look like it, but I did. I did the, you know, there's three types of triathlons. Okay, there's the Olympic distance, which Rajan does when he's on antibiotics with one hand tied behind his back. There's the sprint distance, which is regular people if you're like semi-athletic, and then there's the discovery distance, which is uncles and little kids and me. I participated, and I did well. I finished right in front of little Jaden. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I'm sure you're playing PlayStation. He's like, what's PlayStation? At that point, I knew I was old. I see a lot of you staring at me. And it's okay. I don't take offense. I think staring is a way of dealing with emotion. It's a way of dealing with something you don't understand or something that's new to you. Like, for example, right? If an Indian person comes in, if you run a store and an Indian person comes to your store and they see a sign that says fixed price, no discount, you'll probably get a reaction like, what do you mean? I have to pay what it says? That's stupid. All right? Or like, if you take a bunch of bricks from England and you bring them here and take them outside, they just stare into the sky. Mate, that thing's been here for hours, isn't it? It just don't go away. All right? Or you take, you go up to an American and you ask them, what continent is Spain in? Texas? Or finally, my favorite, you come up to, if you go to a Singaporean restaurant, you're like, excuse me, I want to get set menu A, and I want to replace my iced tea with Coke.
Good luck.
So sorry, cannot laugh. Not allowed. Government crackdown. Okay. Where are my Singaporeans at anyway? Any Singaporeans in the house? And you're still at the hawker centers, huh? Come on. We have some Singaporeans. Hey! Yay. There we go. And Singaporeans are tough cookies to crack. I mean, except, and as an expat, it's difficult to assimilate sometimes. You have to make an effort. Except the taxi driver uncles. They're real friendly. I'm sure all of you have taken a taxi cab home at some point here. And right when you pull up to your condo, the uncle's like, you live here? I'm like, no, I'm just checking out the facade of this random condo at 10 p.m. Yes, I live here. That's why I'm going home. All right? And he's like, oh, very expensive. How much your rent? I'm like, wow, we're getting personal. And then if I make the mistake of telling him, oh, you rich man, how much you make? I'm like, all right, too much. Can I get my change, please? So, Singaporean women, on the other hand, they're a different ballgame altogether. Unless you're a white guy that can offer marriage and eventual citizenship, then they're friendly. But for the rest of us, it's tough.